And we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all to pieces. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all had a cool little weekend and all that. We are here with another episode of Doing All Right. Just wanted to let everybody know on this Monday here, I'm going to be on both days of the draft show this week. So y'all be sure. All right. Y'all be sure. Y'all be sure to
I think I'm gonna call it sick tomorrow. Yeah.
Look, you can do what you like. I'll be there. I'll be there Tuesday, and Brian will be there Tuesday and Thursday as well. Brian,
Sure
you doing all right? Everything all right?
Yeah, great weekend. I went down to Austin, got to see Bennett, got to take in Georgia versus Texas in baseball, got to see Texas win. So yeah, it was a good weekend to see all that. The son is what they call a cowboy. So this goes back to the 20s where kind of the hats and the neckerchief and the chaps and all that. So Bennett's duty is he fires the cannon. So this year during football season 2, he's like when they score a touchdown, you hear the eyes attack, whatever the fight song, and then boom, and then so yeah, it's kind of cool. But yeah, it's he's doing really really well down there. And you know it's weird, Voch. It's man that the kid undergrad, he graduates next December.
He graduates from what?
From Texas.
Damn.
Business school.
Happens fast.
4 years. It went just just like that. Just like that. But anyway, super proud of him. And I know everybody out there they probably don't want to hear about my kid, but here we are. But yeah, it was nice to see him this weekend. Thank you.
Shouts out to you, Ben. I need some help on my taxes, man. Tap in with me.
Hey, you're going to need a lot more help when you and I get done. So just remember that. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
3 people.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something, Brian, before we get into these tackles here.
By the way, there is going to be an announcement very soon here about future stuff. So really excited about that.
Keep your eyes open for that, ladies and gentlemen. Brian, I got 2 questions, then we can get into these guys.
Yeah.
Tell me if this is fantasy football or me playing too many video games, right? The Cowboys traded for Joe Milton.
Yeah.
The Patriots netted a pick 1 round higher than they drafted him.
Right.
Brian, would it be far-fetched? And I know it's not going to happen because this roster is in no shape to do so. Would it be far-fetched for the Cowboys to draft a quarterback anyway? Just because we should be throwing darts at quarterback all the time, just like New England is? Even if we ended up trading that quarterback later? I imagine that would have been a thing that we would have done with Trey Lance, but Trey Lance just wasn't good enough to do it. To give you anything back. But Brian, all Joe Milton has is 3 preseason games, and some of those was just 1 quarter of action, and a damn week 18 that didn't matter. And the Patriots at least got 1 round higher pick than they got. Brian, would it be far-fetched to just draft Will Howard anyway? He have an explosive preseason and maybe a cool little week 18 once we got postseason wrapped up. We just got a free game at the end of the season. If you take him in the 3rd round and you get a second back, is that worth even thinking about, Brian?
You know what? Elliott Wolf, who's the general manager of the Patriots, his dad is Ron Wolf, who is the general manager, my boss at the Packers. And so I'd been working with Elliott. I've known Elliott since he was 10 years old. And that's a way that Green Bay would think. Drafting, we get too caught up in we have too many needs and we're not going to take a guy. Now, what you have to be careful of is you have to make sure you take that quarterback at a spot where he's got ability. He does have value, and there's a chance that he would go on and do great things. Sure. We've seen a 4th round pick at pick 135, who not a lot of people said practiced very well. Really didn't throw the ball all that great. But all he did was he had his team the number one team in the country for several weeks.
Mhm.
And pro scouts and college scouts couldn't figure out when they went into Starkville, Mississippi, where's all the great players here? No, it's really that quarterback.
Josh
what it is.
Robinson
Yeah,
and Duranye Wilson. Those are the only
yeah,
talents that he had. Yeah.
yeah. It was a very, you kind of wonder. I mean, defense, they had a couple of guys,
Sure.
but you wondered like this guy. So if you have that kind of feeling that Will Howard could be that guy,
Mm.
I'll tell you what, man, that is never a bad thing to do. Yeah, and like I said, maybe there's ways to get a pick so you can do that.
Mm.
Maybe you can move to a spot and get a guy. Maybe it's an opportunity, comes about. But if you evaluate any of these quarterbacks, if you feel like, man, I know we got this guy, and I know people are freaking out right now. Listen to this. I could see the comments at 5 a.m. right now. But fine, your opinion I appreciate. But the really, really good teams think that way. That position, they think that, and they're like, listen, if we have a chance to grab a guy at pick 76, and the problem you're going to run into is, maybe this is a situation where you take, just for example, you take Ted McMillan, you take Henderson at 44. Now it comes down to Will Howard or a third-round cornerback.
Sure.
Or a third-round one technique.
Yeah.
Okay, which one's probably more valuable? And, you look long-term, probably that quarterback.
Sure.
You gotta think like that. You can't just sit there and say, oh, we got a lot of needs and taking a quarterback is a stupid idea because you gave a quarterback $60 million.
Sure.
No, you're trying to find your next damn quarterback is what you're trying to do. Whether you gave the guy $60 million or not. This quarterback 2 of the last 3 years has been hurt. Not all his fault. It's a tough game.
Yeah.
But you made a determination. Again, you traded for Joe Milton. Joe Milton's got some big upside to him. I'm a Joe Milton fan. Joe Milton doesn't know where the damn ball is going to go sometimes. But, people say, well, you spent your 5th round pick on okay, that's fine. But this is about thinking about going forward. And I'm never against picking a quarterback. I'm never. But it's going to come down. It could very well come down to, do you want to take a one technique, or do you want to take a Will Howard, a run at Will Howard there?
Yeah.
Or somebody you like. Say somehow, I have a feeling that Milton's going to go a lot higher than you and I have him on our boards.
Yeah.
Milton's going to, all these quarterbacks could go higher.
Howard.
All these,
Yeah.
They all can. They're all probably going to go higher than where we have them right now.
Sure.
But no, it's not wrong what you're thinking. And again, you just try and think of it as, man, it's like lottery tickets. You hit the lottery with Dak Prescott. There's some people out there that don't believe what I just said about Dak Prescott, that you hit the lottery, but you really did.
Sure.
They had a plan for what they. Now I'll tell you this though, Voch, the scouts, they thought they had Dak Prescott with Jamil Showers.
Sure.
And the coaching staff said, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah.
This guy could, Wade Wilson. No. This guy, you want to draft this guy, So there's nothing wrong with thinking that way. And you can't sit there and just focus in on, God, we got too many needs. There's a good chance you're not going to fill all your needs anyway. There's a chance. And then you got to figure out a way to, but if you're going to do it, take a guy that you absolutely believe could be that guy. Don't be in the 6th round. And I guess New England will say, well, damn, they took Tom Brady. Yeah. That was a lightning bolt right there is what that was. So, but I always consider quarterbacks in a draft. It's just my upbringing in Green Bay.
Bryan, man, I saw this tweet, man. I was confused, boy, when I saw beloved Dane Brugler tweeting this one the other day, man, on the same note that we just talked about. Man, Brother Dane said, let me see if you can see that with your bad eyes. Yeah, you can see. Brother Dane says, a source told Dane, and Dane telling us on the Twitter machine, Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe has accepted an invitation to attend the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Bryan.
Yeah.
I know we all over the place on Milroe.
We are.
But I assume his agent has heard enough to lead them to believe that Milroe a first round guy.
There you go. Yeah. Somebody has told his camp or assured his camp. Nobody wants to see the uncomfortable guy waiting to be drafted stuff. Nobody wants to see that. Yeah. It's a terrible thing to have happen. But we've seen this with Milroe. He's visited with Steelers. You know, could somebody at the back end from somebody in the second round, top of the second round, trade back into the draft? I think the Cleveland Browns are a team that's going to – I think Cleveland Browns are going to wait on their quarterback. Just a gut feeling. Don't know anything. I could see them taking Travis Hunter and then waiting on if Milroe were to get to them, say it, get to them at the top of the second round. I could see that. See the Giants waiting on a quarterback. Some of these teams, like the coaching staffs, the Giants, the general manager, man, he's got one foot in the parking lot.
Yeah.
He can't wait on a quarterback. He can't do that. He can't gamble that way. Go get the player that could come in, you could plug in and play, and then try and find the quarterback and work that way. Cleveland, the Jimmy Haslam, the owners come out and said, geez, we totally effed up the trade. We totally effed up paying the quarterback. He admitted. He said, "That's blame it on me. That's a problem." I mean, do they pick a quarterback all over again that high? No, I don't think so. I think they wait till the second round and see what potentially is on their board or trade back in. So yeah, I think there's people that actually do like Milroe because of just the things you and I have talked about: cannon arm, athletic ability, and if you could kind of get him playing like you got Josh Allen playing with Buffalo, boy, you might have hit one. You might hit one with this guy.
Man, Bryan, besides that, man, we watched some.
Do you believe it? Believe it?
You have to believe it because whenever they're not going to go to the draft and just kick it till Friday. You know what I'm saying?
No, man.
So if anything, I don't know if there's no way it's a top 12 situation going on. So I imagine that some team in the back of the draft, in the back of the first round, maybe. I mean, you said Pittsburgh, that makes sense, but is a team going to jump in front of Pittsburgh to try to?
What if New Orleans takes him at 9?
I had a theory that Kellen's
Sanders,
so used to. That Kellen comes in and he's so used to that Jalen Hurts type of guy that he brings in the Jalen Milroe.
Sanders could be that if Sanders gets past.
Either way, yeah.
If Sanders gets past, it gets past Cleveland.
Sure.
And then you're in a situation unless somebody trades up. But the New Orleans could Kellen Moore. Look what he's done for Dak Prescott's career. Look what he's done for Jalen Hurts' career.
Sure.
I mean, he could very well, if Sanders gets past there, fine. Sanders gone. Would you consider Milroe at 9? I mean, that's a coach that's got some security, a little security.
Yeah.
Coaching. He's probably going to see it through. But I wouldn't be surprised if Milroe goes in the first. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't be surprised, but boy,
I'm not going to window dress my
dance.
board. I am
No,
not going to window.
No, me neither. No, me neither.
I'm not going to window dress my board just to reflect the fact that he might get picked in day one.
Yeah, no. I mean, let them do it, because I'm gonna do a little dance if he go top 11 somewhere. We just gonna have a little party.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Brian, why don't you rank these tackles for me? We
you gave me an assignment. It was a good one today.
We got 4 D tackles, and you know, I think some of them separated themselves from this crop of guys that we're watching right now, the recent crop. So we got Simeon Barrow from Miami, Shamar Turner from A&M, Vernon Broughton from Texas, and Cam Horsley from Boston College. Brian, which one of those guys? Well, just rank them for me. Who's the best out of those?
You went Turner, Broughton, Horsley, and Barrow.
That's interesting, Brian.
Because I didn't get it right.
I got Horsley first.
Oh, do you really?
I enjoy watching some Cam Horsley, Brian.
All right.
Beat the hell out the Pittsburgh kids.
He did.
I got Turner second.
All right.
And where's my board? I got Turner second. I have Barrow third.
Oh wow, you put Broughton fourth. Okay.
And I got Broughton fourth. Brian, let me just tell you a story about Broughton and how I got here, Brian. I never heard of the kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know who the hell he was, but I went on, PFF, just to kind of that list that we had. We just go through the list. They had him at 70. Yeah. I said, where the hell this kid been? Where he been at? They got him at 70, Brian. Hey man, PFF just be moving them names anywhere, Brian. I don't know why the hell they got him way up there in the 70s though, Brian. But how'd you have him ranked? How did you what was your rankings for these guys?
Yeah, this was an interesting group because I was trying to get Turner and I was trying to get Broughton and I was trying to compare them to what was going on in the 3 techniques.
Hemingway and those guys.
Yeah. And
That's where they at. Yep.
So I went in the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I went Turner, Peebles, Farmer, Broughton, Pegues. And that's after reading my notes. And those are my 3 techniques. I had Turner and Broughton as 3s. I had Horsley as a 1, and I had him in the 5th behind the UCLA kid. And then I buried Barrow is what I did.
Oh, that's interesting, Bryan Broaddus. That's interesting. Okay. Well, how I kind of looked at it.
It's not it. Yeah. I thought that Turner, and this was funny because I asked somebody in the league this question. They had Turner and Broughton a lot higher than I did. I said, listen, I got him in this group of guys and all that. And this guy was telling me, he's like, nah, Turner might end up being a 2nd round guy. I said, well, I ain't going there.
That's odd to me.
I ain't going there. No. Yeah. And he says, Broughton might be a 3rd round guy. And I said, I can't go there. I go, I'm just going to tell you who I think they're kind of like. I think they're like Peebles. I think they're like Farmer. I think they're like Pegues.
See,
and
Brian,
I just could not like Barrow at all. That one bothered me, but I couldn't figure out the Turner and the Broughton one, because when that guy said, no, these are probably 2nd round guys, I just said, well, then when I mark them off my sheet, I'm going to mark them off that 4th round.
Yeah.
Is where they're at.
See, Brian, this is the problem. Those guys have traits. The league love traits, man. The league love traits. But I feel like, Brian, they not watching film if they say that. I feel like if you look at their measurables, Broughton length is all get out.
He has got a weird body though. He is so
He looks slim,
big in the upper body and thin legs.
Yeah.
It's just it's a funny look, and it's like for a guy his size, you're thinking he's just so big upper and his lower is so thin.
Are those dudes edges? Are those dudes edges? Turner and Broaddus?
Man,
they're so small, man. They like inside of there.
290 guys. They're 290 guys. Yeah, and they very well could be, if they very well could be guys that try him at edges. I'm going to try him at 3.
Yeah.
And see what happens, because I kind of feel like that's better where they play.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Walk me through the Boston College kid.
Sure.
Because I feel like I didn't give him his due listening to you talk.
So,
but go ahead.
So this is where I'm at with it, Brian. Horsley, and this is my own thinking. Nobody got to think like me. Horsley has the least amount of traits as all these guys. He's not bursty. He doesn't explode. He doesn't get upfield, and he doesn't fly upfield, nothing like that. But Brian, he's a one tech. And one thing that I'm going to talk about all the time with these guys is playing with this sense of gravity or like heaviness. That's what I mean when I say gravity, like heaviness. Cam Horsley, as a one tech, he's not athletic or whatever, but his job is to be strong and heavy and take up blocks. So if I'm looking at him as a one tech and those other guys are likely threes, Cam Horsley does his job as a one tech better than those guys do their job as 3 techs, in my opinion. Horsley taking on one-on-ones, whooping one-on-ones, but taking the doubles though, and not really losing ground on the doubles, being stout, being heavy, freeing up linebackers and things like that. Good initial joke. Long arms helps in the one-on-ones, and he bats down passes, Bryan Broaddus. But he's not really.
Oh no, he got 9 of those. Yeah, he's got 9 of those in 3 seasons. Yeah,
but he's not a pass rusher though, and that may be where he kind of falls a little bit. No. So teams
two sacks in 3 years.
Teams are gonna look at that and be like, he's a 2-down player, and he's not gonna give us pass rush ability. Maybe we'll just drop him off in the 6th or the 7th. I look at it differently. I look at it as, okay, what's the job I'm asking you to do? You do your job better than this super athletic kid. I didn't see Horsley on the ground a bunch. I saw Turner. I saw Turner on the ground a lot.
Yeah.
I saw Broaddus on the ground sometimes, Brian. Broaddus was looking lost out there. And Broaddus got this weird thing where he's a 3 tech, but he's 2-gapping and stacking and extending a lot. Like he's stacking and, you know what I'm saying, trying to extend. But I didn't think he had a good feel for where the ball was. I thought Cam Horsley as a run defender, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. Cam Horsley as a run defender, earned enough respect just in my eyes as a one tech to be like, I'll take him in the 5th round right now over those guys. Like if we in our 5th round pick, Voch, you want Horsley, Barrow, Turner, whatever, I'm taking Horsley, and I'm playing him at 1.
Yeah, see, I have him in the 5th, but I got the UCLA kid. Is it Toa? The TOIA.
I didn't watch him because it was last minute, Brian. So I didn't watch him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I've got UCLA above him, and maybe it's because I felt like the UCLA had a little bit more pass rush to him.
Sure.
But I just couldn't. I mean, the thing with, and you're not wrong about, because my notes were talking about with Horsley playing the run. I totally agree with you. I mean, I said decent first step quickness for the position. Have seen him line up both as a 1 and as a 3. He's 6'3", he's 312 pounds. He could get in the block, but there's snaps where you see him get knocked off balance. There were a couple of times where, and I watched Missouri and Florida State with the ones. But he does a decent job of fighting the block down the line of scrimmage. But when he has to come back inside to adjust to the ball cutting, that's where I think he got some problems. You know, like he's stretch, ball, and then he's trying to get back. And then there were some snaps where I felt like he overran the play and it kind of took him out of position. So, but when the guy, you're right, when he can get in position, he can make tackles, he's going to wrap up the ball carrier. He does. he just doesn't do a lot for you as a pass rusher.
Nothing.
His best move is just to push the pocket, and really, really that's it. I didn't see much counter moves. I didn't see anything to really free himself. He's just going to try and overpower blockers.
Yep.
And I think that's, the 2 sacks in 3 years, you're right. If you're asking him, and I said this, and the reason the guy had 9 pass defenses in 3 seasons, because he probably is at the line of scrimmage. He's probably not, and he just goes up and he reads it and boom, tips the ball. But I think there's some tape where he clearly plays better as a run player than a pass rusher. And, no, coach me up on this.
Sure.
Word was that he was a much better pass rusher at the Shrine game than during the regular season. Is that factual?
Nah, man. Horsley was just running down the middle of people. Those offensive linemen wasn't all that great. That's just Shrine Bowl. Like if he was at the Senior Bowl, he'd had a hard time.
Couple scouts were telling me, because I've had scouts. Okay, this is what's interesting about this group that we're talking about. All these guys.
Sure.
I had a scout tell me, he goes, you know what? I've given up on this group.
On the tackles?
He says, I've given up.
Yeah.
I've given up in trying to put what order they should be.
Oh, yeah,
in.
sure. Good luck.
I mean, he goes, I just can't. I mean, they all do different things. But if you ask me, like one day I think it's this, and the next day I think it's this.
Yeah.
And the day after I think it's back to he's just like, I'm trying to kind of get the guys, and I tend to do the same thing. Bendy, remember early in the campaign, the Mike Greens and the Bendy guys and run play guys, those edges and stuff, But I think Horsley, see, that's the problem I had, because I asked about this group that you gave me, Turner, Barrow, Horsley, and Broughton. Mm-hmm. It's the first time all year where I called scout buddies and said, how do you have these guys ranked?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm seeing them right, and when they were saying second round and all that, I went, no,
not for me, player.
not today. And they're like, well, they're going to get, I'm like, okay. When they get drafted in the second round, I'll acknowledge I had them in the 4th, and I'll go along with my job. But you're not going to tell me that Turner's the second round guy right now.
Nah.
Yeah. And they're like, well, no, he's bendy, he's bursty, he's this, he's that. I'm like, okay. And, maybe I go, I'm going to die on the hill with these 4 guys.
Sure.
I'm going to die on that hill, because I think I could say I like Turner. I don't like Turner at 44.
No, hell no.
I would like Turner and I think Turner's going to get, because you said it and you're absolutely right. Scout guys saying traits, Brian, traits. How about the tape?
Yeah.
How about the tape?
And the tape is him running around like a madman, falling and tripping all over the place. Athletic and bendy as hell, but he looks small. He bouncing off of people. He all on the ground. Something, Brian. I didn't. So the reason why I have him up here, and boy, if I was in charge, I wouldn't even be drafting him. But the reason why he's up there is because I can acknowledge that he does have traits to be a pass rushy type 3-tech guy. But I don't think he's better than Norman Lott, like as a 3-tech pass rushy guy.
No. And see, this guy was trying to tell me, actually a couple different scouts were trying to tell me, because they asked me, where do you have Norman Lott? I said 3rd round. They said, this guy's better than Norman Lott. I go, no, he's not. No, he's not.
Teams suck at draft. Right? Teams they terrible at this shit.
2 of my scout buddies, I got to the point where I had to hang up. I got to go. I'll see.
They are terrible at this. Shuts out to them. But Turner, Brian, clearly
if they're watching, I love you guys.
Yeah, Brian loves you for sure. Yeah. I don't know who you are. To Turner's point though, Brian, to his credit, he shouldn't be lining up at 0. You know what I'm saying? They lined him up at 0 a ton.
Hell no.
They lined him up at 0 a ton.
6'3", 290? No.
He's probably going to be a B gap player, maybe an end sometimes.
Yeah.
Very athletic, upfield, great burst, great first step and all that. But sometimes with that burst, he loses control and he'll lose what's going on in front of him. He is one of those guys that'll get into a wrestling match and not remember what's happening around him, and the ball will just totally go the other way. But I think he's really going to make
personal battles.
Exactly.
That personal battle there. Yeah.
He's really going to make his money as a pass rusher. Teams are going to love him as a pass rusher. And I do think that if he thinks about it, he can throw pass rush moves together if he thinks about it. But I do think sometimes he forgets that he's pass rushing and he'll run down the middle of people. And running down the middle of people will get him overpowered sometimes. Also in the run game, I've seen teams target him sometimes to where they'll read him and they'll make him run upfield and they'll run right by him or whatever. So that makes me feel like his run game awareness wasn't all there. But if he's on the field chasing the quarterback, that's what he does. I didn't think that he played with a great amount of gravity. That's another term that I talked about earlier, Broaddus. I didn't think he played with his feet connected to the ground very much. So if we in the National Football League and he's in B-gap for us and a team starts to double team him and they double team in the run, his ass grass if they double team.
Double teams is death to him.
His ass
really is.
Please.
Yeah, you got the player. He's going to have to win with initial quickness. He's going to have to win with some change of direction, lateral speed, the burst. He's going to have to win with those. I think he's really good when it's one gap. When he's two gap, he no chance.
Yeah,
no chance. He gets stuck. He has trouble taking on double teams. I've seen blockers get under him and kind of take him for a ride. But when he wins with quickness, he can be a problem to deal with. But you mentioned his balance will struggle in this area too. Hands, initial pop, trying to get somewhere with his hands, throw him along the way. I don't think he bends particularly well for the position. But the pad level, I just couldn't. I mean, I was thinking like, okay, the motor, the effort. There's things about him that you like. Again, it's kind of a traitsy player.
Yeah.
Swim, arm over, shoot gap. He'll bounce around the line of scrimmage, search for an area to rush. I said this, his lighter frame might be a problem for him as an every down starter.
Yeah.
I think he'll need to win with his quickness, explosiveness in order to be successful. If he's just a 290-pound guy that's going to be taking on double teams and stuff all day, I wouldn't draft him.
No, me neither.
I wouldn't draft him. I really don't. But people are telling me this kid's going to get picked in the second round. And I think a lot of it has to do with a let me get the sheets here and tell you what the kid ran. Sure. Let me get the Illuminati sheets here and tell you what he ran. Tell you what he ran.
I'm a visual learner. I like to look at it with my eyes too, Brian.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Let's see what the. Okay.
So Turner, he ran he didn't run.
No, he did.
He did.
Turner.
Turner. Yeah.
Turner. I was. You know who I was thinking? I was thinking of Stewart.
Yeah, Turner.
I was thinking of Stewart. Yeah, Turner did not run. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Didn't run. Yeah.
So. Got some long arms though, Brian. The Cowboys like that. But he wouldn't be a Cowboy option because 3-tech, right? Osa and
I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so. But they brought in what? Where's Stewart? I mean, they brought in Stewart, right?
Stewart's like an edge, maybe, and we got a bunch of 1 year edges like Sam Williams, a one guy, 1 year. Peyton Turner's a 1 year guy.
Yeah, they got edges. Yeah, edges. All those edges. Yeah. Jeez.
Brian, you didn't like Barrows. Just run down him real fast before we had this conversation.
Okay, let me ask you: Did you like Barrow? Were you a Barrow guy? You said you kind of liked the kid, didn't you?
I thought Barrow, just like Turner, right? I thought he had some level of quickness. When I talked about his traits versus Horsley, right? Horsley wasn't any kind of athlete at all. Well, he wasn't too athletic to me. I thought Barrow was a little more athletic than Horsley was, but I didn't see Barrow put it all together. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see Barrow making a bunch of plays.
That's why my last line is I don't ever see this guy being a starter.
Yeah, he don't make no plays.
Yeah, and but he's 6'3", he's 290. He was a transfer from Michigan State.
Yeah.
And so he plays in a rotational system with the Hurricanes. Athletic ability, he's best when he can play on the move. They used him in the twist game as a looper.
Sure.
And he kind of finds his way home. Florida, Louisville games that I saw. When he has a free lane, he can generally finish. When he struggles, when he gets caught up on blocks, he doesn't have ideal length to really disconnect from those situations. His pad level tends to be a little high. He really lacks consistency as a pass rusher when he gets caught up on blocks. He doesn't have many counter moves to help himself along the way. He tries to win more with quickness than anything. When he can penetrate, he can do some good. He can be disruptive in that area. Not sure how much lower body strength this guy really, really has, because he gets pushed around and he'll struggle to fight blocks.
Sure.
He really struggles to anchor down, and this will make him kind of a liability. But I said this, I think he needs to play on the move to have a chance. So I'm just not a fan of this player at like I say 6'3", 290. Man, it's just very limited what he can do. So I'm gonna let somebody else be a hero there.
Decent moving laterally, and he does play with a high deal of effort, but he just don't make plays, Brian. If I can add anything else to your report, he just don't make plays. That's it.
Yeah.
But this Broaddus kid, though, Bryan Broaddus, was interesting. I hadn't heard, and he's a Texas guy. Tommy Yards didn't even talk about this guy. You're like, where the hell he come from? But I downloaded some film, Brian, and I pulled out my Illuminati sheet, and he got traits, man. He got traits, Bryan, bro. Let me see what his actual situation was. He ain't on the Illuminati sheet. He's on the Illuminati sheet.
Yeah.
So, 35-inch arms, Brian.
Yes, was he 6'5", 311, right?
Yes, sir. I think that's the record. 35-inch arms might be the record of the whole damn combine.
You remember a guy named Alonzo Spellman?
Sure,
Ohio State.
I was born in '92. Yeah, what the name is?
He was drafted. You were born in '92?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That was your first year scouting? So where was he at in your first year scouting?
I think he was drafted by the Bears. I want to say that hold on just a second. I'm interested. I think he was drafted in '93.
I missed that one. Oh, bro. Bro. I missed that one.
Wait, hang on a minute. Go ahead. Talk among yourselves. So I just want to get this right. But
Go ahead and do your Googles. Talk about Broaddus or just talk about anything?
talk about Broaddus. Why? I want to just make sure that you were 1 year old when this guy was drafted. I was
a year old and you was 30. But yeah. Broaddus got fantastic length though, Bryan Broaddus. I think he has some decent athleticism. But he's better versus the run, or he seems like he would be better versus the run because he has this natural feel to stack guys up with his length, and that might be something that coaches like you just naturally stack guys up. What you got there? What you got?
He was a first round pick. He was a 22nd pick overall, my very first draft. So I was 27 years old when this guy was drafted.
Bro, I missed that one, bro. You know, I missed that one, bro. I ain't seen that
one. Chicago, longest arms on a guy I've ever seen in my life.
I missed.
I swear. I
was a baby.
You weren't even. He was drafted in April of. When you were born, right?
I was 1 month in April. I was 1 month old in April.
Little did we know that you would be in a draft talking about Alonzo Spellman. Hey, and here I am. Hey, Voch, you remember Alonzo Spellman?
No,
I don't.
I do not.
It's kind of like when I threw the Robert Smith one at you the other day too.
Same thing. I was a little boy. Ask me about Leroy Glover or something. But
Leroy Glover, great player.
But
okay,
yeah. Yeah, Broaddus, I think he'll be a really good two-gapper guy because he naturally wants to stack and shed against people. So I think that'll be cool for him. But I think that he lacks a little bit of refinement, Bryan Broaddus, and I think it'll benefit him being in B gap. They move him everywhere, but I think he should just be a B gap guy. And Bryan, I think I saw some loafs on film, Bryan. Could be wrong, but I thought I saw some loafs when just at the end of the play when he could be running. He just kind of turned around and walked a little bit. I felt like I saw a good amount of those, and that kind of turned me off on him a little bit. I got him down in the extras though, Bryan, but somebody will like him.
No, I've got him in the group. The games I watched, I was Georgia, Ohio State. Those games I was looking at. Yeah. This kid, you might be more right about him than me because this kid has been a backup until this season. You know, at 6'5", 311, you're like, wow. I mean, come on. This guy probably, like I said, he's got a weird shaped body. Big upper body, thin in the lower body with the legs. I feel like he needs to improve his upper body strength if he's really going to help somebody. His arm length is good, as we mentioned. He fights off blocks, but he doesn't always do it. There's some snaps we see the ball go right by him. When he attempts to use his length as a pass rusher, this is where you kind of see the quick first step and then the arm over, and he appears to have an idea what he wants to do as a pass rusher, more so than what he wants to do playing the run. I think his balance is also better rushing the passer than it is playing the run. He missed some opportunities to make some tackles in the backfield and failed to get that done. Appears to be better athlete than what his numbers say. But I think he'll have to find ways to win as a pass rusher. So I'm kind of looking at maybe a tradesy guy there. Maybe I reverted back to my days of this guy being 6'5", 311, you know, and maybe that. I think you're right about some of the two gap stuff. Sure. And but like I say, the body type kind of freaked me out a little bit with that. I've seen him before, big upper and bad lower.
And Bryan, that makes me feel like he ain't that strong. Like if I see little bitty legs, I'm just going to assume he ain't strong. Yeah.
I think you're clearly onto something there. Yeah. I think you're clearly onto something there. But like I say, I had this scout tell me that Turner, Broughton, they're going to go a lot higher than you have them. I'm like, well, I ain't moving them. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to move them. Right. But here we are.
As long as it ain't us, man. As long as it ain't us, Bryan.
But you know, it's funny. What if it is us?
I have attitude. I would if it's Will Johnson and freaking Vernon Broaddus back to back like that, I don't know what I would do in the draft show. I don't know what my face would be like. Look, I'm gonna give the report.
Yeah,
I'm going to be a pro. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna be visibly upset for the rest of the show.
Yeah,
and at least y'all can get some good content out of it. And I would hope that we do something in the third.
See, this is where Hellman used to make fun of me for doing this. Because he says, Bryan, so often you could tell when you don't like the pick, then you come with the line of, well, you know, hey, they don't care what I think.
They don't care what I think.
They don't care what I think. I said this the other day. The selfish side of me wants them to pick every player I like. That's the selfish side of me.
Yeah,
doesn't always happen that way, but trust me, if other teams start picking the guy I like,
we'll be all right.
I'll cheerlead for that team.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's a damn good pick, right? You know, but I've done that for a long time here, you know? So.
As always, Baltimore and them that pick the guys we like. But anyway.
Baltimore, Pittsburgh, you know, always Cincinnati sometimes.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
They'll do it too.
You can.
We know the good drafters. We know the good drafters.
Dallas can pick a player. And I swear you've seen me because you've watched the draft show enough or you've been on your own stuff or seen a replay. Sure. Dallas will pick a guy. We'll just hang up the phone. Okay, that's the Dallas Cowboys 3rd round pick. We get back to the draft. Somebody, damn, that's a good pick.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Right by.
I'm not going to lie to you.
I can't believe Green Bay took that guy. What a pick.
Good for them.
Back at it and just like, oh. I'm sure people are like, shut up, Broaddus. Just shut up.
Hey, if this is my last hurrah on .com, I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be rememberable, Bryan. Yeah. They gonna sing songs about me, Bryan Broaddus. It is what it is, though, man.
You and I will be there one day. Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back here tomorrow. But we're also gonna be on that beloved draft show, Not Getting Fired. Yeah. So y'all be sure to tap in with us. We're gonna have some real good content for y'all. And y'all please keep commenting down in there, and we'll keep responding to y'all comments. We love to do it. VOCHLOMBARDI. Y'all can be sure to follow Bryan at BRY Yen Broaddus. We have Draft 101 next week, next Thursday.
Next Thursday, yeah. At the at our, I tweeted it out, I retweeted it. It gives you all where everything is. Gates, doors open. We have a showroom in our building. We're on the 11th floor, and we have a showroom with seats and all that. We'll have a stage, and we'll all be up on the stage. Yeah. Mics, microphone. Whataburger is. I talked to my guy. Travis at Whataburger. Yeah. They're having food there. So come on in, grab some food.
People got to pay for this?
No, free.
Come y'all ass on.
Yeah, free. Come on in. If you got draft questions. Over the years, I've seen guys and gals bring in their actual books, their draft notes, and ask questions off their notes. So, hey, if you're into this stuff, good opportunity to ask Voch a question, ask Tommy Yarsh a question, ask me a question, ask Wolchuk, Bobby Belt. We'll all be up on stage, microphone going around in the crowd, and we'll get all your questions done. But doors open at 6:45. There's parking in the building. It's 4131 North Central Expressway. Just look at my Twitter and you'll see it. I retweeted it. But you could see the idea. But parking down below, just come on in, park, line up. They're going to bring you in, sit down, and then we're going to start the program as soon as I get off the air at 7. Zach and I get off at 7. So we'll start the program as soon as we get down there and be ready to go. But come by, get some questions in, and get some good Whataburger in your body, too, while you're doing it.
And I will be tweeting that out as well. So we appreciate y'all. And y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski, man. Until next time, we love you. Crown.